Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. A man coming off an 1,100-yard campaign last year. Here's Travis Etienne. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
That is caught, and way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their 25-yard line. Now the 3rd-year man, Najee Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
A nice carry by Harris, who had tougher sledding than in his Pro Bowl rookie season, but still topped 1,000 yards as a Steelers sophomore. As Pittsburgh tries to climb back to the top of the AFC North, he remains a player that their offense relies on.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. The Steelers at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. You look at this Jaguar defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots.
Looking to throw, Pickett. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep for Jacksonville, the dangerous Jamal Agnew. He's going to field this at the 4. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
On second down, here's Lawrence. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing at 7-3. So golden field position there is squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their advantage. Now McManus for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. After one, a 14-3 ball game. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Pickett. And his throw is incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Down the left sideline. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Logan Cook to kick off for the Jaguars.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Pickett back to throw. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. McManus now for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
Makes the score Jaguars 28, Steelers 3. Logan Cook to kick off for the Jaguars.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Pickett looking to throw on 2nd down. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch so far by Pickens. It's good for a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now a first down carry for Harris.
And he stopped immediately there.
Chad Muma brings him down on that one defensively.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Second down, here's Pickett. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Pat Freiermuth, 52 yards. And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
Mika Fitzpatrick, the all-pro safety, up to make the stop.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Etienne is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Christian Kirk, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jags are able to widen their lead here in this first half. McManus's point after is good. And the rout is on here in this first half.
Steelers 10.
There you go. Yeah, keep it up, keep it up.
Logan Cook to kick off for the Jaguars.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo, and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their third drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return, here's Agnew. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And out across midfield down to the 45. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now Lawrence. And this one into the hands of Ingram downfield. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Again, it's Lawrence. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Lawrence's pass intercepted. The Steelers take over first and 10.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just 1 snap of the football. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Steelers 10.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Here's Pickett. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Antonio Johnson. And the Jaguars are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Now Etienne to start the drive. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 130 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, Etienne once more. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On third down, Lawrence. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Off play action, Pickett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Antonio Johnson, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
Touchdown! Calvin Ridley with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Bring it in.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here... And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Diamador Lenore. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
On second down, ETN once more.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw to Ingram. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Brandon McManus for the Jaguars field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good game and a first down.
Javon Hargrave there on the stop. 2nd and 5. Pickett sets up play action. He's got this to Pickens. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28. A good pickup there at 22. Harris running straight ahead, trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That tackle by Trayvon Walker. Nice play. He blows that up behind the line of scrimmage. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Back to throw, Pickett. And now here is another interception. And the Jags will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
They'll take over first and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal.
Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. So the completion good for just 3, and that'll make it second down. ETN up the middle. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It's a good pickup on the ground of 7 yards, and time has run out on this. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Here's Lawrence. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
So Lawrence will exit, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Jaguar field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your quarterback upright and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Running out of the gun with ETN. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, they certainly got dented with that 1st down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
171 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Here comes third and the length of the football.
They'll motion out one of the tight ends.
They'll run with Etienne.
Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Going for it, here's Etienne.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
Here's Johnson with a reception.
Down the sideline he goes. Inside the 20. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 81 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here. But it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them. Not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now Lawrence.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
A give running right, Etienne.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
Now 2nd and 9. Etienne once more. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes us all the way down to the 37.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Jaguars, they're back to 500 as they move to 4-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves